Your Spaceship Music Collective. This is Sick Set Bro, a misguided adventure through the social fringe of the music industry. I'm your host, Dom Maple. That works. Right, okay. Right, ready?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to Sick Set Bro, misguided adventure through the social fringe of the music industry. I'm joined, as always, by my brother, Money Mike.
Hey.
How's it going,
How's
Money
everybody
Mike?
doing?
And not bad, my man. And what do you want your name to be, Andrew?
Just that for now. We'll come up
Andrew.
with something as it, yeah.
Andrew, my man, Andrew.
Yeah.
We're here. We got a lot to get through. Civil Simian dropped a new single. Modern Rome dropped a new single. Search Party dropped a new single. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, all these like bands, like local bands in Northern Ireland, are like, let's put music out again. I guess. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about how we seem to be in the era of sequels recently. I'll get into that. And Kanye's hologram.
Oh,
Because
no.
we got unfinished business on that conversation. But we gotta start with probably a thing that nobody really wants to talk about. Let's not dwell on it too much, but it is election day in the States. And we don't really know much. This episode will be out on Friday, so maybe we will know who is the president by then, but right now we really don't. And I don't know. I don't even find the humor in it. I'm bewildered how like America just can't seem to like. I mean, literally, the devil is in the White House, and they can't seem to vote him out. It's just like they're still undecided about it. I was like, I really thought it would have been a bigger difference this year. Like, I really thought it would have been a clearer path. I don't know. Was that just me?
It's still like
Yeah.
50-50.
No,
Like,
sure, like all the predictions and stuff, there's like loads of people on the news and the media and all saying like all the pundits that were like saying that Biden would win comfortably. It's like they've done it again. How did they get it so wrong? You know, we're listening to these people saying, you know, that it should be easy, and for the second time it's so close.
I just it never ceases to amaze me. Like I just don't get it. I know there's so much you could talk about in this, which is why I'm not gonna bother. It's just like, and some people are just gonna say, why does it even matter? But my God, is it important for us as well? Unfortunately, like it's important for pretty much anyone in the world. If this moron stays in office, like I don't like Jesus Christ, like get the man out. And it's crazy how people can still defend him for certain things. They start getting really technical about it. It's like, oh, he's done this, he's done that. And it's like, he's a fucking monster. Like, I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, how can you not watch like 30 seconds of footage of the man and just be like, yeah, he's a dick. Like, I mean, he's not good for anything. I wouldn't want to know him. I wouldn't want to sit in a coffee shop near him, like, let alone vote him into the White House a second time. My goodness.
I know. Me and Jude were talking about it today, and it's like I don't understand why it's so close. And sort of saying like, I think the campaign against Biden has kind of been to like muddy the waters as to whether he can cope with the pressures of being president, because he's 3 years older and he's made a couple of mistakes forgetting certain names and blah blah blah. And I said to Jade, look, at the end of the day, whenever you're president, you don't do all the friggin' work on your own. So I'd much rather have a nice old guy who sometimes forgets things in the White House being helped by a load of friggin' people, instead of somebody who's known to be racist, known to be sexist, known to like stoke like hatred between people.
Yeah, he just causes problems. That's it. Where there are no problems,
Trump is not doing it on his own either, and that's probably the only reason that we're not in World War III right now. So it's like, yeah, the lesser of two evils by far. Like, I mean, whatever you have against Biden, because people seem to be able to find stuff against him, it's like, I'd much rather have a guy who's at least trying to do things for the people, not for rich guys.
Yeah,
you know?
100% agree. And
But as you say, like, people can't see that for some reason, or like they're very forgiving. It's like, well, maybe this time round he'll get it right.
They just get into so many little tiny details and like the nitty gritty of it, and it's like I understand the importance of it sometimes. Like I do, and they will try and talk about things like the economy and the fact that he's improved it, but I actually don't think he does. Like, I mean, somebody would have to tell me that properly and show me the facts and figures,
like,
but
prove
just
it.
because he said it definitely doesn't make it true, because everything he says is a lie. Like, you can't fact check the man quick enough. Like, he throws out so many so fast. There's no way of knowing what's true and what's not true. And it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just drives me insane. Like, I just don't get it. I really don't. I would be going crazy if I lived there right now. I'd be like, what the fuck is happening
Well,
again?
remember, it was split 50-50, and Kanye still got 60,000 votes. There you go, brought Kanye into it again. He got 60,000 votes.
He's already
What the
announced.
fuck
He
was that? Kanye?
already announced his plans to run again next time.
2024.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love the fact that he put out, he's like, I'm out of this one, fellas.
Maybe
Yeah.
next time.
I'm gonna go next time, okay?
he didn't even. Yeah, I like woke up this morning. I was like, so like it was not anywhere near decided, as it still isn't now. It still stands. We don't know. But Kanye, the first thing I seen on Twitter was 2024, and I was like, well, he gave up. Like,
But
I'm
no, you know what he's doing, Stu? It's the Rogan podcast. He's like, God wants me to be what was it, like a congressman first or a governor? Governor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's going off to do that. He has to do that because that's God's plan for him.
I don't think he's done.
Don't think it is.
He's
Don't think
fucking
it
nuts.
is.
Old Kanye. Yeah. Did he actually? I've never looked at the figures. Did he actually get 60,000? Because whenever I looked at
I
it,
read that on the timeline on Twitter.
I don't know if that's true. I mean, he got. I actually have a screenshot of it on my phone.
It was like 1.6% for.
Doesn't
us
have
or
to be
something.
true. You just tweet it. That's
Yeah.
what you do now.
Yeah.
Just tweet stuff.
That's it.
Hold on, I'll see if.
Everybody will read it first, and then Twitter will hide it afterwards
Yeah.
and say it's false information. But then it's too late. People have read it anyways and accepted it as true.
Except, yeah, they're
Try
ready to
fight.
take side.
Kanye votes.
Oh, here we go. Here, good.
Try and find out, because I seen that he had. I think he got not 0.3% of the vote or something, but they just rounded him up to 1. just like, look, he got 1. 2020. Joe Biden. Kanye was 0.3%. Vote counts 1,266, which is still a lot more than it should have been.
Definitely
Is
not
that-
60.
Is that everywhere?
Alright,
Is
no
that?
idea.
Well,
Here,
yep.
well-
It looks like everywhere.
we'll not all be laughing if the whole Biden Trump thing gets that close that those votes would have mattered.
I know.
Yeah, I know. People will be pissed.
Yeah,
Well,
because
if
that's exactly what everybody was like warning against. You know, this makes things messy.
It's
Mhm.
definitely
Is
just
that what-
like a wasted vote, right? To even vote for anyone
Yeah.
else. Yeah. Anyway,
It is, but this is the
it's
problem.
an
I mean,
archaic
it's-
system anyway. It should.
It
just-
is.
Yeah.
It's
so-
a terrible. Well, I say a terrible system. I don't want to sound like fucking Donald Trump here. It doesn't matter if he loses, he's not gonna believe it for a second.
I love how
'Cause,
this morning already, whenever things seemed a bit dodgy for him, but like it's so close that he could still win it, but he was already starting to like throw shade on the whole election system, and it's like people in the news were like commenting and saying, "What? Yeah, why is he questioning like the whole democracy of America before he even knows whether he's won or not?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it was it was inevitable he's gonna do that, and it wasn't gonna be his fault. Of course not. And I know we were kind of trying to like talking about this a little bit before we came on the show tonight, but it's also now this is just for Florida, but it's also just becoming even more and more evident that it is just older white men that seem to be keeping Trump in office. If you just look at the percentage, like 89% of the black vote in Florida was for Biden. Like, I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, does that not show you? Like, come on. I don't know.
Oh wow.
It just makes me sad, everyone. I'm sorry. But this also makes me laugh. So, you know.
What the fuck was that? Kanye?
You got Kanye and Donald Trump in the same candidate. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Very, very weird. But yeah, so maybe we'll you guys will not be laughing along on Friday if it goes the way if we don't want it to go. Like,
Yeah, that's
I
true.
mean,
We're sitting cracking jokes now. It might not be funny
it
in a couple of
might be a
days. Yeah.
different world by Friday.
But also, tomorrow would be Thursday, so the whole lockdown thing starts in the UK tomorrow.
Oh yeah, shit, remember that.
Remember the 5th of November? Remember when they tried to blow up Parliament on the 5th of November?
That really sounds like it could be coming around again.
I'm watching that movie tomorrow. I watch it every year.
V for Vendetta, yeah.
I love it.
Not like a Guy Fawkes biopic that I didn't know about or something.
No.
I haven't actually watched it in a long time.
Oh.
Yeah.
V for Vendetta, yeah, it's very good.
Yeah. And nobody celebrates. Obviously, Guy Fawkes night here because I used to celebrate it in Jersey all the freaking time.
No, I hear the odd
Do
fireworks.
you hear? Right, okay.
Like sometimes it's just like you hear like a pop and you're just like, and you're like, what the hell was that? And then you check the calendar and it's like, oh, it's that one person that loves Guy Fawkes night. He's like dressed in a V for Vendetta mask, so just shooting fireworks off.
He's part of Anonymous.
Was that movie done by the Wachowskis that done like the Matrix and stuff as well? Was it?
Oh, I have no idea.
I feel like it was, but I could be wrong.
You're gonna search it. That's what it is. Is it?
It was somebody that was doing like big movies in the early 2000s. Like they were known for other stuff that they directed as well.
What? As in the director? It says the director is James McTeague.
Oh, that's not who I thought.
I don't
wonder
know
what else he done.
I don't know. Going down a rabbit hole here. I'm on IMDb.
It's a cool movie.
I got it wrong.
Wonder what this always gets me though. That the worst thing I can do is like watch a show and be like, recognize that person.
He was the second unit director on The Matrix. So he did.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know either, but yeah, I knew he had something to do with The Matrix.
Well, there you go, everyone.
Interesting tidbit. Yeah.
There's some facts about V for Vendetta I bet you didn't know about. Yeah, so I also wanted to talk about something that I thought was interesting. It's not really like, but what?
I was gonna say, should I leave?
No.
Okay.
No, I feel like for some reason we're very much in the era of sequels now. So I've just been seeing quite a lot of them. Now I know we have been for a long time. People have been cashing in on nostalgia for like ages, but it was the announcement of so Paul McCartney's doing Paul McCartney 3. So like I know you guys probably, I don't know if you've been listening to his solo records as much as I have, like, but yeah, Paul McCartney wanted.
Last time I heard Paul McCartney, not to go back to this guy, he was a Kanye West record.
Oh yeah, shit.
that time when all the kids on Radio 1 were going, "Oh, who's this guy, Paul McCartney? Oh, he's gonna be big one day."
I know. I think we said about that before. Was the worry between the people who were being horribly sarcastic on Twitter and the people who were serious over that kind of joke and be like, "This guy, Paul McCartney, Kanye giving him a shot, shot at the big time." It was like, what a guy, Kanye West. Yeah. So Paul McCartney's bringing out McCartney 3. Which is very exciting to me. He said about it like he just came up with it all in lockdown. Like he didn't have any pre-written songs or pre-recorded songs or anything like that. He just sort of started tinkering and then made a record. And there's a trailer out for it that you can listen to, but it sounds so good. Like I'm very excited for it. And yeah, so I feel like it has to be something for him to slap the 3 on the album title means that he wants to connect it to the other 2, which are, you know, some of his most loved solo records. And then I seen that, and then like a couple of days later, I seen that Kid Cudi's making Man on the Moon 3.
Man on the Moon 3. I did see that also.
people have been asking for that for a long time. Which if anybody's maybe not as familiar with Kid Cudi's work, it's the first record that his best records, you could argue. The ones that he's best known for were Man on the Moon and Man on the Moon 2, and it very much cemented him as a certain type of rapper. Like it had its own style, and it sort of set him apart from everyone. And then he kind of just started making other records where they were just never as good. It's not that I didn't like them or I didn't like the songs on them or anything, but I just felt like he'd lost what made him him. And I could respect where he was coming from. He used to always say, like, people just want me to make like another Man on the Moon record, but I just want to do different things, which I feel he was very much in the mood for. Like, he said he wanted to do different things, but he kind of just wanted to be Kurt Cobain for a long time. Like, made that Speeding Bullet to Heaven and the Wizard record and stuff. He wanted to do a lot with guitars in it and like combine rock and rap and stuff. And then there were songs I liked, but I don't think it worked out too well for him. It wasn't really looked upon favorably, and here we are again, back with Man on the Moon 3. So I guess he's like, need the money.
He's always been one that I think his musical progression through all that was also his mental state.
I know, because he was really
just
bad
see
for a
the
while.
pattern, and now hopefully he's gone back to a pure, like what he was in Man of the Moon, without having to perform to the hip hop thing. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I hope so, because like Man on the Moon 1, like the reason that it set him apart so much was because he was like brutally honest on it. Like if you listen to Soundtrack to My Life, like that's what the second song on Man on the Moon, the first one. That song just talks about him like being a kid who's just never happy, and he's essentially that he's depressed and he doesn't understand why, and he's just got all these feelings, and pretty much music is his only escape. And I mean that a lot of people find that relatable. A lot of kids did, I know that I did. That's what got me into it. It's not just that
by the way,
music was good, it's the lyrics were incredible. It's still relevant today.
Now, yeah.
100%. So yeah, again, very excited for that. And it's just weird that we're getting these much wanted sequels to things.
I mean, that was 2009, right? 10?
I think Man on the Moon 1, I want to say it was 2008, if I had to guess. I think it was earlier.
Somewhere around there. So it's like...
Someone fact check me on the side. I am usually very good at finding, like, remembering years of stuff.
Like, if you played that album now, I think it would still slot in. It would still...
Man, I listen to it all the time. Like, genuinely. I really do. And then we were getting sequels that we didn't ask for, like Borat.
I haven't. Do you know the one reason I don't watch it is because I like the first one so much. I don't want the...
I wouldn't worry.
I wouldn't
worry. It's good.
It's extremely good. No, it's great.
No, it's good.
I think
definitely
it's
worth a watch. The fact that he manages to catch people out still is great.
I know. And you you can look into it. There's very little that's staged in that at all. Yeah, like there's the odd thing, but
this is the thing. I'll do this as spoiler free as possible. But I was having a conversation.
I can get the gist of a Borat movie. Work away.
Yeah. Well, but I was discussing it with Jade afterwards, and I was talking about like the first movie. There were some bits that obviously had to, because he comes up with this idea that there's a story throughout the whole thing. So like some of it has to be staged in order to progress the storyline of what is the movie sort of thing. And then it's like interviews in between. So I was sort of saying all this and I was like, that babysitter bit, like she had to be in on that. And that was fine. We had that conversation that night. I was like, it's still really, really good and everything. And then the next day it came up on the news story that the babysitter was really upset that she like at her part in the movie. And I was like, what? Yep. That just seemed too perfect for...
Yeah, no,
all to fit.
I don't know if you've read about it. So she was told that they were making a documentary about like pretty much bride trafficking sort of thing, like selling young women to rich husbands, like fathers doing that. So she genuinely believed that he was trying to sell his daughter to some rich man.
Right.
Obviously they didn't say that it was Mike Pence, but
It's the
she did
storybook
believe
that
that.
she reads her. It's like I
I
couldn't
know.
believe that somebody would read that all the way through.
I know, it's her face, like her
Yeah.
face.
But
It's
yeah,
priceless.
anyways. Yeah.
But yeah, she because I read that as well, that she wasn't happy about it, and then whenever you look into it, not that, look, I do not disagree with her at all, but like I think she was more annoyed that she thought it was a documentary which she was happy enough to be part of, and then realized it's a Borat movie, and it probably made like what it made millions,
Should
like
have been getting paid for this.
yeah. So she was
Yeah.
just like, I'm a bit upset about how much I got paid to be part of that documentary, because they obviously paid her a fee so that they could use her face without blurring it. But you're signing it under false pretenses. But since Sacha Baron Cohen is like, I can't even remember how much money it
seen
was, but
that,
he
yeah.
like donated loads of money to her church
Yeah.
and stuff. So like, oh, he's good. Like I feel so many people don't get him sometimes. He's like, the best description of Sacha Baron Cohen as a comedian is that people think he does like shock comedy or gotcha journalism, and it's like it's not that at all. He literally just walks around like he's a mirror. Like he comes around and then it shows you what you're like. Like how do you react to it? Like that lady, the babysitter in it.
Yeah.
Like that's the most heartwarming thing, that she cared that much. And
Yeah.
she didn't have to. She didn't have to care at all, and she clearly did. And there are good people in the world, which is quite nice. It's weird how Borat 2 managed to be heartwarming somehow, but it did.
Yeah. And then
Very nice moments.
on the flip side, you have a guy that's willing to sell a cage to a man that's gonna put a young girl in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever you ask them, and it's like, surely at a certain point you have to be like, I'm not comfortable with
I'm
this.
not gonna sell you this. Yeah. Yeah.
Which can I just, right, again, I don't really want to get in this too much, but I know Andy will know about the what do you call it, the Mayor Giuliani controversy, hands down his pants thing, right?
Yeah.
So, well, for anybody listening that hasn't watched it, I don't think that's much of a spoiler because it's been friggin' everywhere. So, ex-mayor Giuliani, he's Trump's lawyer, like main man lawyer now, right? And he's a bit of a so-and-so. I'll not say anything.
Oh, the guy that anyway, yeah, go.
So, there's a part in the movie towards the end where they get him for an interview, and he obviously doesn't know that it's a Borat movie or whatever. And the actress that plays Borat's daughter is like intentionally trying to flirt with him. Like, let's not get that wrong. Like, she's putting the vibes out to try and get him to come on to her. But people said it's okay. This is what annoyed me, was like on the Joe Rogan podcast, they talked about it, and he's like, I seen that. Sorry, I didn't really finish the thought there. But anyways, the interview happens. It's over. They go into the bedroom where she says that she'll take his microphone pack off, and whenever she's trying to get it off him, he lies back on the bed of this hotel room, and he puts his hands like down his pants. But he's saying that he's taking his microphone pack off. Right, and it doesn't go any further because Sacha Baron Cohen busts in as Borat, and then like whatever. So the thing that annoyed me was people like Joe Rogan, which although I do like the guy sometimes, sometimes I can't stand listening to his podcast and stuff just because he's like, oh, I seen that and that was fine. He was just being a nice old man, and it's like people said he was being too physical, but it was like an old man pat. It's like anything even before the hands down the trousers thing, right? Creepy. Super creepy. And I'm not denying that she's coming on to him, because that's the whole point of it. But I'm sorry, I'm not a person of notoriety. This is what gets me more than anything in the world right now, is like, I don't have an impression upon a wide range of people. If I ever find myself in that position for like somebody interviewing me for my fucking music career, and it was some girl that was like under 18 years old started being that weird with me, I would just be like, I feel uncomfortable. And I was like, this isn't right, whatever, to get out. And it's like, he's a very important man, And it's like, why did he think that was okay? He could have just shut it down and left, or he could have just been like, look, I'm a bit uncomfortable with all the physical touch and whatever. Nobody's gonna view that in a wrong light, but he just got more physical. Like whenever she was touching him, he's like, I'm gonna touch you back. And it's almost like he was pushing the boundaries. That's the way I seen it anyway, is like he wanted to see like how far can I go with this, because she seems to be into it. I don't really think the gotcha hands down the pants thing, I personally don't really think that was anything. It was everything before that that creeped me out more. I don't know where it would have went, but the whole the thing that people don't realize is like they think that he bursts in to cut it off to make it look worse. But what Sacha Baron Cohen said was that he was like he was hidden in the hotel room in like this secret room, like locked away, and they actually had like Giuliani's like I don't know, Secret Service security people come in and sweep the room, and they didn't find him, which is hilarious because he's a
Somebody's getting fired.
There could have been an assassin in there. So he bursts out because the only communication he had with what was going on was through text with the cameraman. Because there wasn't many people in there. It was made to look like this is a small-time journalist situation. So he obviously gets worried at a certain point. He's like, there's only so much I can let happen, especially working with like a young female actress. And it's like once it gets to a point where I don't really know what's going on, and I know they're in the bedroom and he's lying back on the bed, like he's like, he came in and then called it there because he's like, I'm not going to let it go any further. And it's like a lot of people are just kind of like, but what if it did? What if you gave it like 3 more minutes? Would you be able to use the excuse that you're taking your microphone pack off? Would be the big question.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good movie. You should watch it. Big twist at the end, big M. Night Shyamalan twist. which again, don't know. Sorry, M. Night Shyamalan, as Kanye would say. Oh, speaking of Kanye, come on, we gotta see what he's up to this week.
Is it yeah or is it nay? Nobody knows it's yay.
What the fuck was that? Kanye?
So, me and Andy have argued about this over message already. So
It wasn't really an argument. It was like
it wasn't an argument, but it was a debate. It was a debate nonetheless that thought I should
do
bring
what I
to the
always
public,
do.
Andrew.
I do what I always do. If you said the opposite, I would have fucking gone the other way.
Yeah, if I could just call you devil's advocate.
I just spark conversation.
There you
that's
go.
it.
You've
That's
got
it.
the nickname. You've got the nickname.
I couldn't because after a while, like I would just be for days after that, I'd be like sitting at the dinner table, like just eating dinner with Sarah, and I'd be like, I can't believe Andy thought that was okay.
Right, I'll give you my true.
Right. Okay. Let me say what I'm talking about first, because this is unclear.
Explanation.
So let's start off with the weirder thing, but not the weirder thing, not the weirdest thing of this story. So Kim Kardashian decides she's gonna take her whole family to a private island. Hold on, I'll get the tweets up. That's the best way to do this. So yeah, she puts up this tweet where she's pretty much telling everyone that for her 40th birthday, 40th, she took her whole family to a private island after like multiple health screenings to make sure that everybody was, COVID clean, so that they could spend time together and just sort of forget about what went on. And I was like, right, okay. And I gotta find the tweet though, because it's like she somehow simultaneously tries to come off super, super humble, but still kind of just rubs your nose in it. It's very annoying. Hold on, let me find her. Kim Kardashian, I believe it's pronounced. For all my video listeners, I'm gonna share my screen here. Right, you with me? You can see these, yes. Okay. Oh, she voted. Good job.
Wonder who she voted for.
Trump, clearly. They're a Trump kind of family, aren't they?
I don't know.
This is the thing about this is yeah, no, but maybe not. They're Kanye family. She was like the 0.3% vote. Right, I gotta go back and find this shit. She posts so much. I had this problem last time, and I was like, "How much does this lady post?" Oh, here we go. Oh, that's just people being annoyed at her. Oh shit! No, I'm not actually on her. Sorry, I'm so old man right now. I didn't even go on her actual profile.
There you go. The one that says 67.2
It's just because I
million
want to.
followers.
That'll be the one. I want to read you exactly what she said because I don't feel like I can do it justice by just winging it. I'm sure there'll just be a lot about. Oh, there's her riding a bike on her private island, I think.
Sounds like jealousy, Stu. What's happening here?
It's not jealousy. It's not jealousy, and you just kept. Oh. Fuck, where is it? Oh,
Where's my private island? God damn it.
I know. Where is my private island? And she posts so much, but I mean, like each to their own. You can post all you want. Night swims. Right. So. Oh, go away, Kim. So many fucking posts.
As a single man, Kim can stay there what she wants.
Okay. Here, I think we're on it, right? So this is around about the time this is happening, right? So there she is. 40 and feeling so humble and blessed. There's not a single day that I take for granted, especially during these times, and we are all reminded of the things that truly matter. So after 2 weeks of multiple health screens and asking everyone to quarantine, I surprised my closest inner circle with a trip to a private island where we could pretend things were normal just for a brief moment in time. How do you ask everyone to quarantine and also surprise them? Can I just ask?
Yeah, I guess that's a bit confusing.
One of them's a lie. I know that much. So we danced, rode bikes, swam near whales, kayaked, watched a movie on the beach, and so much more. I realized that for most people, this is something that is so far out of reach right now. So in moments like these, I am humbly reminded of how privileged my life is. Hashtag this is 40. All right. That's pretty much like I'm rich. Like I know I'm rich, but fuck it. So anyway, they're out there for her 40th birthday. And this is the weird part, is that Kanye surprised her and her family with the gift of her deceased father, Robert Kardashian, as a hologram. So, I'm really not okay. I'm not going to play the audio from it because I can't be bothered changing the settings here. But so Kanye pretty much brought her dad back to life through a hologram, right? So I feel the important thing that you need to understand about this is that it's not from old footage. They used old footage to render a 3D model of him, but the things that he says are done by an actor, so it's scripted.
By Kanye, by the way.
By Kanye, I can only assume, obviously. So he says stuff to her, which is like, it's whatever. It starts out all nice and says he's so proud of the woman she's turned out to be, and starts making these, I guess, what can only be private jokes that Kim has told Kanye about. But there's also a point where he manages to shoehorn in that, I'm also proud of you because you've married the most genius man in the world, Kanye West. And I was like, he wrote that. Kanye brings her deceased father back to life in hologram form to pet his own ego. Like, I mean, that is so fucked up. Like, she posted it. Maybe she loves it. Like, I don't know. But I just hate so much about this because I was just thinking about it again today. I was actually talking to my wife about it and just sort of saying, like, I just can't think of a situation where I'd be okay with that. Like, if somebody brought one of my loved ones back as a hologram, first of all, that's weird. But second of all, if they were saying stuff that they never said, that would really, I would not be happy about it. it would really upset me, I think. And maybe it is more of a personal thing, I guess, then. But I actually was seeing, this is gonna sound a bit weird, but Stacey Solomon, who's actually a really nice person, by the way. Can I just say, a lot of people just know her as like super annoying on TV, but she's actually really nice. You should follow her on Instagram. Like her and Joe Swash are together, and
Look at you watching daytime TV, getting to know everyone.
it's actually it's
He
not,
is so turning old, man. Turning against Kanye and
Hey,
Kim,
man,
and
get back to work.
and now he's like all about Stacey Solomon.
it's just my wife tells me these things,
Oh.
and then I follow her. But yeah, she put up a thing like about Joe Swash and his like I might get this wrong because she like I'm getting this through Sarah, so like I haven't seen it myself, but she was telling me about it earlier and said like she said she really didn't like the hologram thing because like Joe Swash, he lost his dad whenever he was really young, and he's just never gotten over it really. And she had like tried to. I'm trying to remember what it is exactly she did. We need to follow her on Instagram to see what she put up or on Twitter or whatever. But she was basically saying like she tried to. Oh, I remember. It was a picture. So she wanted to do like she got like an artist to do a painting of his dad, who's obviously been dead for years, with their grandchild, which I know a lot of people do, but he like couldn't bear to look at it. He hated it. Like not that he hated it. I mean, the gesture is nice,
Yeah.
but to me, that's more of a realistic thing because I think I would be the same. As much as someone's trying to do something really nice for you, I just don't think it's okay because it didn't happen, unfortunately. And it's like, well, he never did hold the grandchild, and it's probably just hanging there as a constant reminder that it didn't happen. And to me, that's really, I just don't think it's okay. And I was more upset for her, even though she probably loved the hologram thing. I think it's maybe just a personal thing. I don't know, but it just kind of triggered me a little bit.
It is one of those like to each their own sort of things. It's so hard to say. Like I know we're talking about actual human beings here, so it's like so different. But like it's the difference between like there's people that you would call weird that when their pet dies they would like get them stuffed and stick them by the mantelpiece and stuff, and then there's people who are like what the hell, normal
You
people.
see them like this?
Yeah. But like to me that's in a certain way there's a similarity in that there's certain people out there that would think like a hologram of a passed away relative is something that is nice. Like personally I agree with you. I don't get it either. It's like, you don't, as you say, you don't want to see words being put into the mouth of someone that was never there before. And also I'd rather just like look at old pictures or something because they're memories, and that's kind of like what you would like to think about is good actual memories of like the person,
Yeah.
experiences that you had together or whatever, instead of like some weird creepy digitally created thing sitting in front of you. That's
I mean,
so I do agree, but to me it's like as long as Kanye is doing entertaining things and not running for president, like that's why I love Kanye, is that he does this crazy shit, and like just let him work away. I'd say the two of them are kind of bonkers. So like if she appreciated it, then fair enough. But yeah, it is weird.
I mean, it is. And Andy, I will pass it over to you in 2 seconds. The only reason I think on a higher level, it just being personal to me and being highly insensitive, and can I just say tone deaf to the whole situation of so many people dying, and it's like, oh, by the way, we all went to a private island and actually brought people back from the dead, because we're that rich.
Jesus,
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, the other thing that kind of irritates me, where I was like, you do worry about it a little bit, is the fact that he is such a trendsetter and he's such an influencer for like the world, and things like this, as they become more common and people say it's okay to do, like the more common it becomes, if that makes sense. It's like it's the same thing as like deep fakes. Do you remember whenever that was like an amazing thing, and now there's like all these ads. If you go on your Facebook, there's like ads like put yourself in your favorite movie with deep fake, and you just like put your face on somebody. It's like is the easiest thing in the world. I actually seen a subreddit the other day that just cracked me up because it's like we all know it, right? But it's just a constant reminder. It was just like this is what people can do on the internet. It's just like a guy, and he's like talking, but he's like it's just to remind you that not everything is what you see. Like this isn't even my face, and then his face changes, and then he's like, I did it with like these dots, and he has a marker, and he goes, actually, the marker's not even real, and then the marker like floats off screen, and then he goes, and also this still isn't my face, and his face changes to someone else, and I'm like, yeah, I forget about that sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't believe anything, and unfortunately, I think that's just like we're part of this generation where I just don't think we can believe anything, like ever.
Yeah,
The
well, sure.
generation behind us, God knows.
I was saying it last week as well. I can't even remember what we were talking about, but literally for whatever the subject was, the exact same thing came up. It's like, I don't know what's the truth. Oh, it was the Fatima advert. It's like, well, I don't know. I don't know what the truth is and what isn't. Yeah.
I
Did you
fact
find
checked it
out?
after. Well, it's I feel I'm going off on one. You would actually have to really break down it. I got bored reading about it because it seemed like it was an excuse to get themselves out. It was an older thing, but I say it's older. It was running from 2019 to 2020. So it was pre-pandemic,
Yeah.
but it was still running. And it's a government run ad
Is
about
it? Oh,
getting
right.
jobs in cyber security.
I
don't
thought it
know.
was a cybersecurity firm or something like that.
Well, no, but they arguably they pushed it more in the situation they were in, so it's still they were trying to like get out of it, like wiggle out of the
Right.
context. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Andy, why are you okay with the hologram? He's probably not okay with it. You're just trying to annoy me over Messenger.
No, I said it was definitely weird, and then you have to see who it's coming from. I don't think the Kardashians and Kanye West can be in touch.
Yeah.
No.
Because their life is so out of the ordinary to us that it's impossible for us to think. It's impossible for us to think anything they do is normal.
Yeah.
Because Kim and that family, since, I don't know, I've only known, from the OJ stuff and wherever they got their riches or whatever, they've just constantly just been out of touch.
Yeah.
Because that's all they don't know a normal life.
No.
So
it's like excesses, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna
how-
get somebody a present of a hologram, like because
It's like,
you just have the money. It's like yeah.
I know it gets to it's already wild enough that her present to herself was to take her whole family out to a private island. She got herself that. It's like, what do you get her then?
That's what I don't like about like trying to comment on. Yeah, fair enough, it's weird, but to me I would just like throw away comment, fuck man, that is kind of crazy or whatever. But like where anybody, like even like your favorite actor, celebrity or whatever, where do we get the right to comment on what they do with their millions of dollars, which they so happen to get for their acting talents or their
take a drone above John Travolta's house. He's got a plane in his driveway.
Yeah. Here, man, who knows what fucking crazy shit we would do if we had loads of money? Well, probably wouldn't get holograms, like, but still, there'd probably be something that you would do, and people would go, "Why is he doing that? Why is he spending his money on that?"
My quick take on the hologram is 100% weird to me, to us. The thing of him, it's literally Kanye being Kanye. It might be a joke of him saying, because he's always calling himself the best. He's always calling himself a genius. That might be like a running joke, right?
Yeah, so I know.
But to us, it sounds fucking mental that you would say that coming from a thing you wrote, a hologram of a deceased parent. And yeah, I just think
I wonder how
normal society, it's like it's so out there for that to be a thing. Just for a hologram, just to show up, and just how it was presented, because you could hear her like crying, in the background and stuff. Like it was an emotional connection. And to be honest, at this point, like 2020 going forward, futuristic. I think you'll see more of that. It's just that she posts it.
Yeah.
There's probably people that have done it on a smaller scale.
Privately or whatever. Yeah.
It's the fact that
because
she
it's funny.
posts it. 100%. You'll see another one before next year.
I was gonna say, whenever Stu made the comment of saying, like he is an influencer and like, this will be the, if Kanye didn't do it, somebody else would do it. Unfortunately, because people can do stuff, they end up doing it. And it's probably the future anyways, whether Kanye did it or whether somebody else did it. It's like people have figured out how to friggin' make holograms of people who have passed away and stick other voices on there and pretend that they're people
It's
are gonna
like
do
you
it
think-
because they
I know
can.
I know I brought up in the chat about the performances of Tupac and Michael Jackson, and then you brought up the fact that
Yeah, it's
I
like
would
you
look
get
it up, but it's a
like
performance, but you
permission-
get permission.
Permission from the family, yeah.
permission from the family, and it's more. I'm not saying that's a whole argument in itself,
That's
because
like-
obviously, like, you don't even need performers. Then I mean, you're literally going to a concert to watch something that is not real, but at least they're performing material that they performed.
Yeah,
like, I
it's
think that's
their
what gets
actual
me
audio.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, it is just, I don't know. Maybe it just scares me more than anything. I think that's it. Is like the fact that it's already been used for so many things, and you can fake so many people's identity. But now it's getting to the point. It's like we're gifting these to people now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's fucking nuts, dude.
I mean, if you look, like, what was a news article I read about Jeff Bezos putting a clock inside a mountain from like, it was like a summer. He was like putting a giant clock inside like a mountain. That's the type of money that this guy has. It's like, what are you doing? You know, what are you,
What-
Dr. Evil?
Well,
And then you see the latest video of him being Dr. Octopus with like these hands, just like, oh, it's so, yeah.
dude, I know. I think it just scares me more than anything. But it is just like, you're right. It's the way it's going, and it is the age-old thing of being like, people ask, could we do something more than should we do something?
Yeah.
And that's never gonna change, unfortunately. And maybe I just, you're right. Look, it's all to do with what you're brought up with, and like, I've never known a life of fucking millions unless it's been hidden from me. But at the same
be
time,
honest-
I always think like, I like to think whenever I'm in a position of like leadership in any given situation, like say at a job or whatever I do, I often think about what I do and how I could be perceived in that way, and how it can have an impression on other people. And I think I think sometimes it takes me off a little, because it's like I think about that on my like non-existent level
Yeah.
down here, and being like, okay, but it could affect that person the way I do this. And I was like, apparently whenever you're that high up and you stop thinking, maybe because they have to block out the thought of how many people are listening to them and
I think,
doing what they do. But it's
Yeah.
have
I
some
think you kind of
responsibility.
have. I think with,
You can't please everybody. Somebody's gonna tell you you're doing the wrong thing. So
yeah.
they probably learned to drown out that sort of thing very early on in a lot of careers.
Like, I reckon them two, like, there was an interview, I can't remember what it was from. It was when they got the new house, and Kanye took the piss out of Kim about something about a jacuzzi. Do you remember that clip?
Yeah, vaguely actually.
It's
Wasn't
like,
it?
oh, I can't get in my jacuzzi. Like, it's like,
Yes, yeah.
oh
yeah.
my God, I haven't got this luxury. But Kanye said it to her. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, there you go. There's like a jab of, oh, you're complaining about this, and this, and you can't have your
Yeah.
jacuzzi.
First world problems. right?
So yeah. So, and then when you reach that level, it's like, what could be a simple joke to them is like, wow, that's a joke to you. It's like,
Yeah. That is
I-
the problem, like, because I can imagine that sort of thing, very, very quickly becoming a thing. Whether, you're saying about like being in positions of responsibility and stuff, that's very different. But it's like, if we all had money, the three of us guys sitting here, and we're able to do like crazy stuff with it, I bet we'd be making probably pretty inappropriate jokes about like jacuzzis and stuff like that, because it eventually becomes your normal day-to-day life. If you know what I mean.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But-
I mean, yeah.
So, like, if
Also-
you're gonna crack a joke, you're gonna crack a joke about like something that you spent loads of money on the other day or something like that. You know what I
but
mean?
also you should, like Stu said, you should have at least some awareness that you know where this is going.
Yeah.
You know what time of, during like pandemic and all that stuff,
that's
it's
very
going to
true.
trigger. And it's so easy to trigger now
Yeah,
because
it's
everything's so
sensitive.
accessible. And yeah,
Like
I miss the times of not knowing anything and just thinking, oh, is this real? But now you have
Yeah.
to question everything. And it's so frustrating. Like as a kid, you grew up and you're like, oh, this could be real, or like look into it and stuff. And now everything's like,
You know what I think a lot of people have lost the power of? The power to not care. Just read something and not feel the need to go, is that true? Is that not true? If it sounds bizarre and like really crazy, probably not true. Don't waste
You
your
know
time
what?
on it.
Mike, man, like seriously, I was really trying to be that way for like a long time. Like truly, I was trying to get myself to a point that anytime somebody brought something up, I wasn't gonna be the guy that went straight to Google just to prove if it was right or not, because I felt like I did that for everything. It's like, let's find out. And it's
Yeah.
like, remember when you couldn't just find out?
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
which is good, and I mean, I'm just gonna blame it on the times. The sign
Yeah.
of the times here is now in the age of misinformation more so. I mean, I would say yes, there's been misinformation on the internet for a long time, but I would say in the past 4 years, conveniently, while Trump's been in office, we're definitely in a stage where I'm too afraid because people will believe things whenever you just say it still.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
well,
the
no.
older generation will just believe, like, I mean, Trump gives out random figures, like, all the time, and none of them are true. The same way Kanye started giving out, like, how many people are on the internet and how many people do this. And I was like, none of them were right. And once you start getting into the, like, technicalities of the studies and when they were done, and if you actually go to stuff, like you have to be like fucking Joe Rogan with Alex Jones on his podcast and be like everything he says, he's like, hold on, can we pull that up? Can we pull that up? Can we look into this? Because you you can't just unfortunately people just lie now, just
Yeah.
constantly lie, and it's
True.
scary.
It's like pick your battles sort of thing though, but if it is something, I would agree. If it's something like that where it's dangerous, like it's facts or figures that are being construed as true when they're not, then yeah, definitely try and correct somebody. But like,
But
Kanye,
like the other side to that is, as much as you can fake, you can easily find out now. So you can prove someone wrong like that.
Yeah. But I mean, this was that.
But it's the effort of going through that. It's like,
Well, wasn't that what I was? Sorry, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
sorry.
No,
I
you're
was
alright.
I was just gonna say, you know what, that's the weird thing about that too, though. See the way you can figure out just like that, the way you're saying. I don't know if it's just me, but that makes me so nervous to even like recount any information
something.
to
Yeah.
people, because it's like, I think I read this somewhere, but did I research it 3, 10 times? Whatever. Did
Yeah.
I like fact check where all that stuff came from? Whenever I say this, am I going to sound stupid because I don't know the other story that came out to contradict whatever I'm talking about? It prevents conversation. To me, I feel like a lot of the time like that, I actually like shuts me up and chokes me like with certain things. I hate getting into political conversations or anything because you always feel like you don't know enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's
I
the
agree.
danger of having too much information at everybody's fingertips. It's like you can't just say something for fear of saying the wrong thing.
Yeah. I wholeheartedly agree with that, and it is unfortunate. I feel like most things that we even say on this show is usually followed by I think anyways. Maybe you need to.
You
And it's
always
like
do that sort
we're
of.
always unsure, and it's just sort of like you say something that you'd be 99% confident in, and you're that unsure if what you read was definitely accurate, if there's different studies done somewhere else,
yeah, but
what
then
the
you're
time
learning
frame.
at that point.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, that's
You
it's
can't
like
always
it's the
force
internet.
yourself to be
Good and bad.
perfect.
Yeah, true.
Being perfect is.
But I want to be perfect.
No, you can't.
I want to
You
be a
have to be.
perfect human
No,
being.
you can't. You can't be.
I
At
mean,
all. Can't. Not
oh
allowed.
fuck. Well, that's that's it for you.
Is it gay or is it no? Nobody
That got freaking deep,
knows it's yay.
What the fuck was that? Kanye?
What the fuck was that, Kanye?
Look what you
Kanye just
started.
started an existential crisis in my mind. Right, let's
Uh,
no commercial breaks this time. We're just going straight through. I'll maybe save the commercial breaks for the special episodes.
Oh, it's about to fall. Just a little tip.
On some lighter news, The Mandalorian's back, everyone. Hooray!
I'm gonna wait till it all comes out.
Ah, you
Never
suck.
got to the end
I
of the
don't have
first
Disney Plus. I'm not privileged enough. Nah!
I steal,
What am I doing?
I steal Stu's Disney Plus.
Oh, you do. That's right.
Straight up street.
What did you say about it, Mike? What do you not? Do you
I
not
haven't
like
got.
The
I haven't
Mandalorian?
got to the end of the first season.
Oh, that's okay. I thought you said you didn't like it. 'Cause
Um,
I wouldn't allow that.
I will challenge that though. It's not that I didn't like it. It's that it was it was okay. It was just fine. To me, I'm gonna make this comparison that I know that you're gonna hate, but I feel like it's doing a Marvel TV show thing where there's too many Star Wars at the minute.
You're wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
What the fuck was that?
Michael.
Mike.
So Mike's wrong, and the Mandalorian's back, and it's fucking awesome. It's great. So we're not gonna talk about it because I don't want it to be ruined.
Like Gina Carano in it.
But you know what? Let's talk about what we're all here for. It's the local music news segment thing, whatever. Yeah, we get like a bunch of bands came back with some new songs, which I think there's probably more out there, but yeah, these are the top numbers that I have for you this week, anyways. We got Search Party. They're back with a new single called Seminal. Modern Rome came back with one called Cracks in Hidden Places. And Civil Simian with Give It Time. That Civil Simian song, man. It's so funky. We'll play a couple of little snippets here from it, but
Play that start bit.
yeah, I know, it's so good.
First thing to say is I love you, my friend. I cannot pretend to comprehend.
Man, they're just Simian always. They just get funkier like every track. I think they tried to say that usually their style that they do is like a mix of Red Hot Chili Peppers and Radiohead is what they go for, but they're like this time it's like Red Hot Chili Peppers and Snarky Puppy. That guitar is just so funky the whole way through, and I don't know if you guys have had a chance to check out the single yet, but it has a breakdown in the middle. It actually, I was going for a walk whenever it first came on, and I think I was just like physically doing like a funk face whenever it came on. Like I was just walking like along the beach with my headphones on, and I was like just like ooh, like it was so funky whenever it dropped.
Like friggin' Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, in Spider-Man 3. Yeah, finger gunning everyone.
Those guys friggin' do that to me all the time, though. I remember making that face to what is it off Ouroboros? What is this?
Hell
Do you
yeah.
remember that? Yeah, that's yeah. Whenever the guitars kick in on that as well, it's like ooh.
Which Rue, the lead vocalist of Civil Simian, he really shows off his range again in this. Like he does it all the time, man, and it's like he does it later on in this track. It's a part that I'm gonna have to play for you. Definitely jump onto Spotify, please, and listen to this. I mean, it's my track of the week by far. I haven't stopped listening to it. But yeah, you need to listen to it in like better audio quality. But you gotta hear this bridge with me. You gotta listen to it with me. Here, they're coming up. can add this if you want, guys. Whoever put the reverb on,
That's
thank
freaking
you,
cool.
thank you.
That is
Just you gotta listen to the range of the vocal though. That's the reverb. Here it comes. There's a fucking phantom in the song.
His voice sounds like early Lane Staley, or whatever his name is from Alice in Chains. Just then,
Oh yeah.
just from the it just triggered like when they done Unplugged. It just sounded.
But yeah, it's called Give It Time. Please go and listen to it. Like it's that little snippet does not do it justice, but yeah, damn good. So we also got Search Party back with Seminal, and Modern Rome. So we'll play you a couple of clips from those two. Definitely go and check these out. Oh, and both these have videos for them too.
You could be anything that you want, and it don't feel right, but I should have to go back to the start. Cause you're only getting older, like a car riding through your head, and I wish that I was older, and I'm afraid now that it's too late.
Yeah, I gotta admit that guitar riff really sounds like that surf rock one. Like, was it? Is that the same one that's like, Wipeout?
I think so.
Sorry, guys. But I have to say that Search Party. I remember playing with those guys. I think where's the first place I seen them? Belfast, maybe. Yeah, it might have been Belfast. Was the first time I seen them, and then I think I played a show with them. But they have not that they were ever not good or anything, but they have just come a long way. I think they've like, just whenever you see a band like refine the sound, like they know what they're going for, because it's so like it's really hard whenever you're starting out, is you don't really know what you're about.
And
like
then it just clicks. Yeah.
You get there, unless you're me, because I never get there. It's like I kept saying that I was gonna be an indie lo-fi pop dream pop guy, and then I released like hip hop songs after. So who the fuck am I to say anything?
Being versatile.
Versatility. That's what I like. This is Modern Rome, much more subdued little hit. Just the video is very, very nice, very lovely. It was kind of nice. A lot of just like scenic countryside stuff in the video, and it was like, I don't know, it was kind of nice in these unprecedented times.
Unprecedented
I
times.
live with my eyes transfixed by gold.
It's a very nice
The
song.
wondrous jewels of the elite.
Very
Cling to the
subdued Snow
light
Patrol vibes I got from
was
it.
foretold.
Like very much so. I don't know about you guys,
The
but really
prophecies
hear that
left
Gary Lightbody
incomplete.
style vocal.
In panic, I try and brush off the flies, and end up tearing out the skin. A curse or a blessing in disguise.
But yeah, that's my top 3 for this week. That is Civil Simian with Give It Time, Search Party with Seminal, and Modern Rome with Cracks in Hidden Spaces. Definitely do yourself a favor and go and check those tracks out, because they are very good, best of the best in this little country. Yeah, man, it's good to see some people getting out there and dropping some tracks again, because I feel like nobody knew what to do with songs during this time. There's some people, like, I know there's been the meme going around of like so many people during lockdown were like, yeah, I'm gonna release like my whole bedroom album thing, and then people just never got around to it. But
I think that, see if you run with that. Like if you do COVID session or something, not like an unplugged,
Yeah.
and release that as a live album, fucking why not? Like,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have had to diversify. I think it's quite difficult because people have been doing like live streams. Like I did a live stream myself.
yeah, like Sarah McCready done that.
She did. Yeah, Sarah McCready was almost like she was like every Friday for.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Was it 10 weeks of lockdown or something? She was
Yeah.
like committed to every Friday night,
And
like
she's done
doing a
that.
live show.
Wasn't she
I
just
think-
recently on done like a Halloween?
Yeah, she did a Halloween one recently, which was very good. But I think the only thing that's hard about it is, as good as that is to keep exposure going, it sort of gets to a point now where it's like, well, people have built up an idea to be like, you really can enjoy like a live stream at home like that, which is good. And I think in the sort of times we're in now, I really wouldn't be ashamed as an artist to be putting up like a paywall of some kind. Not saying that you need to kick people out altogether, but even if it was just something as simple as like a GoFundMe or something along with it, and then asking people to donate, because I mean, people usually get paid for these shows, and now some of them are kind of giving them away for free. I know it's not the same idea, which is why I'm not against it, but I think it's hard to like put up an entire paywall to say like you can't see this unless you buy a virtual ticket. I think you're gonna really minimize your audience that way, but I also don't think anyone should ever be ashamed of just asking, like in their live streams and putting a little GoFundMe thing, and if it picks them up a few pounds, it's still something. I mean,
Yeah.
What else can we do? There's like
'Cause you
people
can
are
put it
trying to
out.
figure ways to make this work still, you know.
Because you
It's-
can put it out for free and have like exposure, but how much is exposure?
It's the age-old tale of a
Yeah,
musician,
exactly.
Andy. It's exposure over cash. A lot of the
Exposure
time
don't
is
pay
money.
my rent.
It does not. No.
Yeah, it's
neither
getting back
for
to what we
music.
were saying. Yeah, it's getting back to what we were saying last week. It's like some people don't have like side jobs or anything like, and like the loss of the local gigging scene for a lot of people is cutting into their wages. Like, so yeah,
Yeah.
don't I wouldn't be afraid to, as you say, put the link up. Don't hide behind having to pay to watch, but at the same time there will be people out there that will understand, probably fellow musicians, maybe more than likely.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think so, and that's just where I land on it. I'm not saying that you can't do that. I just think that you have a combination of people who are maybe putting up complete paywalls, blocking people out unless you buy a ticket, and they're probably not seeing a lot back on that, I would imagine, for like a local, maybe unsigned artist or anything. But I also think you get a lot of people who are afraid to pretty much what seems like ask for money.
Yeah.
But like, man, it's things that should be happening more, in my opinion. A lot of local scene things that maybe should have been happening even before COVID is like, as great as it is to play or to pay your way into a show, it's like just like a little donation box, a donation to the band. It's like, I know it seems so silly and some people just see it as charity, but it's like you pay your ticket price in and say it's like only £3 or something and you get in the door. It's like, if you go in and you actually find a band that you really enjoy during that, I mean, do you know how much it means to them instead of going up and buying like a pint, like giving them that money that you're going to spend on a pint for, like, I don't know, a CD or whatever they have on them? Because at the end of the day, it's more of a bartering system with bands of that sort of level. You know, you can't, if you walk in, I learned this very early on. If you're like, my t-shirts are like £15 or my t-shirts are £10, it kind of needs to be like, I have t-shirts. What do you have? You want to trade?
Yeah.
It's all you can do. But yeah, I would like to see more bands doing that. I would definitely fund bands doing it. It might not be much, but it's the whole point of like, if enough people did it, you know, if like 10 people showed up to watch somebody online and everybody gave like £3, like,
Yeah.
amazing. And then that's nothing out of your pocket, like, but
But still, it makes the artist feel like they should be putting on, like, it makes them go, right, I need to put on performance now, so
Yeah.
evolve their craft, if you know what I mean.
yeah, well, I know whenever I did a live stream, I did what I always do. It kind of went over the top with everything. It's like I really like put a lot of effort into trying making the sound really good and trying to set it up like a live show and everything, which was very tough to do. And I'm glad I did it. But that's where I know I had it in my head afterwards. And it's like, I think if I do that again, I definitely should have some sort of funding or GoFundMe or something and be like, look, if people pay into it, great. If they don't, then so be it. But I mean, I put a lot of work into plan it. And it was, yes, it's at home, but I like to think that I gave people a nice night. That's pretty much all you look for as a musician. It's very nice whenever you can sit somewhere and create an atmosphere for someone, but it's really hard to do over a computer screen.
Yeah, there
It's
was a
like-
lot of moving parts that I kind of know the setup that you were using there and stuff, and
Yeah.
there was a lot that could go wrong, but it actually didn't. And I watched it again. Like it is a great. Yeah, is it on YouTube or is it on
Yeah,
Facebook?
yeah,
just, or-
you can go back and watch it if you want on YouTube. And just
It
check
went
out.
really well and really smoothly.
Surprisingly, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know I was using a lot of like virtual instruments and stuff, trying to activate them on like my DAW that I was like monitoring live audio coming through it at the same time, and it was all going through Streamlabs. It was, yeah, I don't know. Looking back, I don't know how I did that. God knows if I can do it again, but yeah, I'm definitely Don Maple wise, I think I've got a lot in the works where I'm kind of looking at things through that lens of we definitely don't know when we're going back to normal, and I'm just never gonna be the guy who's gonna force people to pay so much, but I want to offer things, where maybe I can make a little bit of the money that I used to make on shows. Whether it's just through some merchandise, if I come up with some new merchandise designs, maybe do some live shows with funding, GoFundMe's or something. Maybe even some content that goes exclusively to Bandcamp where you have to buy it instead of putting it up on Spotify. Just some of the ideas that I've had over the last while to be like, how can I still, fulfill that part financially, because it's obviously not there anymore. Definitely not for me. Although, like I said last week, I'm lucky enough to have a different form of income, so but definitely was always good to have that bonus money coming in, But yeah, keep an eye out for some Don Maple stuff. I definitely have ideas in the works and definitely more material. Like I know I said last week on the Halloween episode, but like I've been quarantining for 2 weeks. Because I got the notification on my app, so I couldn't go to work or anything. So, luckily, COVID free, got tested, all good. Nothing to worry about. But I did sort of like, I'd intended to spend a lot of time like out here working on my second album, which I have a whole lot of things in the work for that. In the works, sorry, for that. But I ended up like writing about 3 new songs, and I was like, but they're definitely they're not going to be on the record. They're like 3
You're
songs.
J. Coleing it. You're J. Coleing it.
I am J. Coleing it, and I bet you people like those better than what's happening. But I already have I have a direction for the album. I have all the songs for the album. I just don't have all the parts done, and I'm also collaborating with like quite a few very cool local artists. No spoilers, but it's quite fun being able to do that at this time. Whenever we're all like stuck at home, it's like I've reached out to a couple of people and they're working on parts in the songs, so there's going to be some very cool features on the second album. I'm very excited for that, very excited, but God knows when it'll be done. It'll probably be like 2021. I wanted it to be late this year, but I would say probably February next year would be my guess. But yeah, that's your Don Maple update anyways. But I think we've been going for an hour 15 minutes, fellas. That's long. We should wrap it up here. It's been a long one, but yeah, we'll catch y'all next week, next Friday. Hopefully the world isn't over by then any more than it has. I think I'm saying that a lot these days on the podcast whenever I'm ending. It's like, if the world's not over. It started off as like a COVID thing, but now it's like depending on how you
other
win
factors
this
as
election.
well. Yeah.
And if a bunch of like dead people come back as holograms is another issue that might happen now. God knows.
The world will
Everything's
be here.
changed.
It'll be grand.
But yeah, keep up with the podcast. You can go back, listen to the old episodes. Definitely check out the Halloween episode. We put a lot of work in that last one, and there's some joke commercials in the middle, which I don't know if everyone knows about that. I added those in afterwards. Do you guys know about that?
I haven't listened to it yet fully.
Yeah, no man, you gotta watch the video. I
Oh,
like
the
put
video? I haven't
I
even
put
seen it.
spoof commercials in the
All
middle.
right, I'm gonna go see it then. I'm gonna go see it.
Because we were using Zoom previously. We're using Skype this week. Just trying out a bunch of different formats. But yeah, Zoom made you end the call after 40 minutes, so we had to take a break. And I just felt like there should be commercials, but we don't have any sponsors. So
No.
we were our own sponsors. It was great.
No sponsor.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely check out the old episodes. Keep an eye up on the Your Spaceship website, because we're definitely in talks to like give you a couple of little extra things, maybe some merch coming, some t-shirts, because we know we all love a good bit of merch. And yeah, upcoming episodes are going to be very cool. We're started reaching out to some local artists to do little interview spots on it. Now that we have a way to do this from our homes, it's been a bit patchy, but I think this is the setup now.
I'm
If
so
you're
glad we're getting interviews back, because that was kind of like one of the
Inter-
best parts about it.
yeah. Interviews are super fun.
Just
and
getting into the
I-
mind of other people on the music scene and stuff, and
Yeah.
you know, you relate to people an awful lot whenever you realize like all the struggles and stuff are very similar, and all the things that go through people's heads are also very similar. You know.
Well, I mean, I think it'll be very interesting to hear people's pandemic stories, not the,
Yeah,
the
true.
pandemic files, but like a lot
You
of
need to
people
come up
think
with a
coping
little
differently.
stinger for that. We intro
What?
to.
God, it might be a bit awkward if I do it like as a joke thing, and then like we get somebody on who's actually
It's really,
lost somebody to
quite
COVID. And I'm like,
serious,
yeah, maybe not. But yeah, I've definitely got, again, I'll not spoil anything, especially in case it doesn't work out, but I've got like 3 people lined up for interviews, so they will be coming. Don't know when. We'll sort out a date soon, but you got that to look forward to. Check us out on Facebook, Your Spaceship Facebook, Your Spaceship YouTube, and we'll catch y'all next Friday.
Yes.